Well, the news is broken. Trae Young might be potentially available, not just available, but also potentially on his way to the Washington Wizards, apparently. Welcome back to Wigs NBA. Make sure you subscribe for any future updates. So yeah, according to the first one to break the news was Mark Stein, that the Wizards have emerged as a legitimate potential trade destination for Atlanta's Trae Young in a deal construction centered around CJ McCollum's expiring contract. Look, at the end of the day, I, as a Wizards fan, am not thrilled with the idea of giving up draft capital for Trae Young. And that's okay, because a recent report stated that potentially draft capital will be on its way with Trae Young, which is even more interesting. Now, it's important to note that Trae Young has a $49 million player option, and the Wizards are expected to be at about $75-80 million in cap space next season. So they can absorb this and still make a big free agency move as well, which is huge for them. An idea from Greg Finberg on Twitter, I'll put this on the screen, is that you can maybe package CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert together. My idea personally was you put one of those second-round picks, you put 2 or 3 second-round picks together instead. Because the Wizards have a lot of second-round picks, and most of them are not going to make the roster because they have way too much. It's just not going to come together. The only other thing we kind of mentioned that is a little bit of a concern is there is a world where a tank is hurt by this, where Trae elevates the team to more wins than they should have. And I get the concern, but I will say this, and this only. I have no problem if we'd wait till the summer to trade for Trae Young. I don't think anybody else would be interested in taking them. But at the same time, it's a really tough call because there's always that chance, and I don't know if the Wizards want to take that opportunity and risk missing out on him. I will say the Wizards keeping their current young core together is far more important than bringing in a star. You do not pay the price of any of the players on your roster that are 22 and younger. You don't do it, period. But if they want CJ McCollum, they can have CJ McCollum. So let's see what happens. Let's see if Trae is potentially going to end up in Washington. I would love for him to be here. I just think the timeline doesn't fit until next year. If they want to trade for him next year, go for it. Trade for him next year. But I just don't see a world where we do this just yet. I think we've got to wait. And if he slips through the fingertips and he ends up somewhere else, then he ends up somewhere else. At the end of the day, I think that's the way to go. Now, the team needs ball handlers. The team needs an assist first point guard. That's doable, period. If it's the right fit. It's a really hard call, like as a Wizards fan. It's a really tough call. I just don't know if it's the right fit. And it certainly doesn't fit the draft strategy we've been putting together either. Now, he's going to probably just decline his player option anyway because the Hawks don't want him. So it would be something I'm interested in if we wanted to pick him up in free agency for like a 2 or 3 year deal, sure. But beyond that, I'm not sure. I mean, if they want to throw that Pelicans pick on there, by all means, you got a deal. You got a deal. As long as we can talk Trae into sitting out, you got a deal. I'll take 2 top 5 lottery picks all day. But yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. And it is a difficult thing to process because I don't want the Wizards to screw up what they're building right now. I really don't. And that's where things fall apart. I've also seen this 3-team trade a lot where like Anthony Davis gets sent to the Hawks as well. And it's like a 3-team deal where you have the Mavs, the Hawks, and the Wizards all together. Do I think that's a good idea? No. I have no reason to believe that Trae Young is worth, with Trae Young or anything that they have is worth that at all. The Mavs would then get Kristaps Porzingis back is what a lot of people are thinking because of the matching salary. And I mean, they already did that once and it didn't work. It's not Porzingis' fault. It's a different regime here now in Dallas, but I just don't know if Kristaps Porzingis is as good as people think he is anymore. Unfortunately for him, he just has kind of fallen off. And another notable one is the Wizards also supposedly are interested in Jonathan Kuminga. They said the same thing over the summer and it didn't happen. I don't believe it for a second. I don't think Jonathan Kuminga is going to the Wizards, and honestly speaking, why on earth would they? This is a team that is loaded at the small forward and power forward position. They're not going to take some guy who's clearly not who people thought he was. It is not going to be worth it. He's going to be taking minutes away from others. He's going to be a selfish player. They already have that problem with Cam Whitmore. They cannot take in another one. It's not going to happen, period. But let me know what you guys think. Please subscribe for future updates. I think Trae Young is a very intriguing piece for the Wizards. I, however, don't know if he's the perfect piece. But then again, like, let's say the Wizards get Trae Young here at the deadline, and then they go and they sign someone else this free agency. Then they get, of course, their top 5 pick. They get Alex Sarr takes another leap. Keyshawn George takes another leap. Bub Carrington takes another leap. Trey Johnson takes another leap. I mean, it is cool, the identity you could form, having a really strong defensive front court with 2 incredible shooters in the backcourt with Trey Johnson and Trae Young. I think that would be super cool, in all fairness. I think the vision is there. But I'm not sure where we go from here. And as a Wizards fan, I want to trust the front office because they've done so much more for this team the last 10 years than any front office for this organization maybe has ever done. And they've only done it in, 3 years or something like that, which is amazing. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not opposed to the idea. I just am worried about this young core being broken up. I want both at the same time, and it seems that's possible, but we'll see. See you guys for another video soon.